The Royal Rumble is a few weeks away, and we have a lot more matches to go over and a lot more people that are entered in both Rumbles. So we'll go through those as quickly as possible. First off, the SmackDown Tag Team Championships will be on the line as the Usos defend against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin in a 2 out of 3 falls match. This match honestly shouldn't be happening, to be honest, because when they had the titles won, Gable and Benjamin, mind you, they not only pinned the wrong Uso, but Chad Gable was not the legal man in the match. At the moment of that happening, the other Uso, meaning the Uso that was not pinned in the match, I don't remember if it was Jimmy or Jay, but one of the Usos was legal, and Shelton Benjamin was also legal under the match. Gable hit a top rope splash, did not even tag in, pinned the wrong Uso, and then a referee righted the wrong to where we had the Usos retain, or in some cases, some people might say they won back their titles, even though the title change was null and void. This happened when last night they wanted justice, even using the Alabama victory against Georgia in the national championship for the NCAA championship as basically a way to turn heel. And it was really interesting. And granted, some of those calls in that game were questionable. I didn't have a dog in the fight, and I didn't really care who won because I just didn't care really. I hadn't really cared about football since the whole kneeling incident, and that's another story for another video. But the point of this is, they use this basically to turn a little bit. And Dana Bryan came out saying that the officials represent management, which is probably the first time anyone has ever said that the WWE referees represent management in any capacity, especially since somehow some referees have been punished for some decisions. Most notably, Charles Robinson had to face I believe it was the Great Khali, actually. Now that I think about it, it might have been Great Khali or Luther Reigns. I don't remember. I really don't remember when that happened. It's been that long since an official really has been punished besides the whole Scott Armstrong ordeal. But nonetheless, Chad Gable put his foot in his mouth, which gave Bryan the idea to make it a 2 out of 3 falls match for the titles in a match that really shouldn't be happening. So with that being said, the Usos will retain very simply, and this will move on. I wouldn't be surprised if Gable and Jordan won, or Gable and Benjamin. I'm so used to them being American Alpha. I keep saying Jordan and Gable, but that will change because in the next match. Oh, by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if Gable and Benjamin won the titles, but doesn't make sense to have a false finish right before a pay-per-view. But oh well. The Raw Tag Team Champions Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan Angle will face Cesaro and Sheamus, otherwise known as The Bar. This match was supposed to happen on Raw, but Angle made the match with the Royal Rumble. And Jordan has really had a chip on his shoulder as of late. I don't know. Because realistically, if Dean Ambrose wasn't injured, we would have all members of the Shield as champions right now. But, Jordan won on the Christmas Raw episode with Seth Rollins, and this is the rematch for those championships. I really don't know, because on one hand, you could use this to have Jordan be a transitional champion. Not that he can't be a credible champion. It's just his whole thing with him being Kurt Angle's black son. And it's, now he's just Kurt Angle's son, because now the shock value of him having a black son is gone now. But, it's interesting. But I feel like Cesaro and Sheamus will win the titles back very quickly. If not the Rumble, maybe down the road. I'm going to go with them for now, because, for one, Cesaro's teeth are finally fixed, and we can actually understand what the hell he's saying. So that might actually give him a little more stroke in as far as the tag team scene is concerned. And plus, with this happening, Jordan and Rollins can go at it again and just have a little feud after that. And honestly, this reign won't last long, because once Ambrose is healed, they'll probably drop the belts and they'll have Rollins and Ambrose be the champions. But nonetheless, I don't see Jordan defending the title successfully. Excuse me, but I don't think it'll happen. I really don't think it'll happen. Next up, the United States Championship Tournament. Like we said last time, the first round was pretty much done. We did not know who would be in the second semifinals, the second round, whatever you want to call it. It's semifinals, basically. And that is now Bobby Roode will face Mojo Rawley, and Jinder Mahal will face Xavier Woods. I'm not going to predict anything until the finals. I'm just giving you an update on that situation. But I feel like you could have Roode versus Mahal as the final. That would make the most sense to me. Because Mojo Rawley and Xavier Woods, if they somehow picked up the win and they would be in this thing, Woods would win outright. But I feel like Roode and Mahal will be a great match for that title. Next up, we have the 30-man traditional Royal Rumble. We have new additions to the Rumble, so we'll go over those quickly. There's not really a lot. There really isn't a lot. First off is Woken Matt Hardy. Woken Matt Hardy, Broken Matt Hardy, whatever you want to call him, has now awoken, in a way, to where his once broken brilliance is now woken brilliance, and now he will delete people in what he called the Rumble of the Royals to where he will become the champion of the multiverse, which is honestly, I don't think a title has ever been held before, which is very interesting. He had an Expedition of Gold in the past, but this could be the breaking point for Matt Hardy, no pun intended. I feel like Hardy, if this was early on, he would be a front runner to win the Rumble. But again, you have bigger names in this, so I don't know. Especially with another person that is in the Rumble would have something to say about that. Next up, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe has not only entered the Rumble, but has proclaimed he will eliminate John Cena first, which makes me feel that Cena will not win the Rumble now, because that way, you could go towards WrestleMania having a Cena-Joe match at WrestleMania, which means Joe would not win. But again, Joe is a big front runner for this Rumble. I don't know it'll happen, but it's possible. Next up, Bray Wyatt. Much like Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt has had a little bit here and there of a world title, but it's very simple. Probably Hardy and Wyatt will eliminate each other, and they will face off at WrestleMania at some capacity. But, could Bray win it? It's possible. Will it happen? Probably not. And finally, the team of Rusev Day. Aiden English and Rusev. Rusev, I like Rusev. This was a few years ago. Rusev would be a big potential winner of the Rumble, but, he's kind of been made a joke over the past few years. And now, with the Rusev Day thing, he's kind of coming back a little bit. I don't know. I really don't know. Rusev could win, and English probably can't. It's really that simple. And finally, the women's side of the Royal Rumble. We have a few new names on there. I just want to make sure quickly those are the correct names. They are. First off, Nia Jax. Nia could win this one. Honestly, she's probably one of the front runners to win this thing. Again, Asuka is there as well. I don't know. I feel like Asuka could win still, but I feel like Nia is a great choice to win the Rumble. Next off, Mickie James was entered into the Rumble. Mickie James, ironically, had a Road to WrestleMania where there was a women's Rumble in that, I think it was SVR 10 or 11, one of those. But, Mickie could win the Rumble, but I don't think it'll happen. And finally, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch has returned recently, and also now put herself in the Rumble. Becky could be a big winner of this Rumble. But we don't know, because Kurt Angle recently was talking to a former star that could enter the Rumble. There's 17 women in the Rumble right now. There could be a possibility of old names coming back, but we don't know that for sure. But with that, the Rumble is a couple weeks away, and hopefully we'll have more entries within the next week.